Okay. All right, here goes. We start the show that goes boom. And it begins in 3.
I'm T-Grass.
I love that song. In 3, 2, 1.
At the turn of the next century, most food will be stored frozen in individual portions. The computer will keep a running inventory on all foodstuffs and suggest daily menus based on the nutritional needs of the family. When the meal has been selected, the various portions are fed automatically into the microwave oven for a few seconds of thawing or warming.
Cheeseburger, some French fries, and a nice cold bottle of beer.
I sure hope Scott Fletcher reads my tweet. This is the morning stream.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to TMS. It's May 28th, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. Brian Ibbett is right over there.
I'm over here. Do you see me? I'm here.
I totally see you. I see you way over there. Hey,
way over here.
How was your night? Everything fine? You wake up okay? You know.
I woke up. I woke up at 4:45 and watched a little bit of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who. I'm now that HBO Max has all those, I can get caught up on season 11, which I haven't finished. Watched an episode called Kerblam this morning.
Do you have any trouble with the service yet? I had problems with it last night. Maybe it was just overloaded because it was a nighttime viewing, and it just seemed like it was really hard to not have buffering.
Here's the problem I had.
Yeah.
Fire up the iPad, go to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like we need to just make sure you are who you say you are. Enter your email address. Oh, you're an AT&T customer. Do you want to connect that account to your HBO Max account? Well, yes, I do. Okay, great. We just sent you a verification code. Enter this verification, or here's a space to enter the verification code. Great. Just went to my email. HBO sent me an email with a verification code. I copy that verification code, go back to the HBO app, and it says, "Oh, hi. We don't recognize you. Would you like us to connect this to your AT&T account? Great.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to send you a verification code. Enter it into this field." So it was on this stupid, like, as soon as you leave the app, you come back to the app. If it's got that window open, it screws up. And it's like, well, that's the window that triggers the verification code. So I had to I had to get my phone out and get my email on the phone and type it manually.
Man.
Yeah.
We had the same problem, but it was with it was just trying to get their code system was broken last night, basically. So what you have just said helped confirm to me what I thought was true already, which was something.
So you had a similar problem, not the same problem, but a similar problem.
Yeah. All we were trying to do was verify that our data plan made us possibly eligible to have the service for free.
Yeah.
And we haven't been able to do that yet because 2 reasons. One, their phones were overwhelmed yesterday, so it was like a 3-hour wait to talk to a human. Mm-hmm. And the code system, which is supposed to let you just do that, didn't work. It kept throwing back errors. I'll bet that's all tied together, and you were just in the same problem loop as I was. And
yep, I was having a digital version of the same vocal version. Did you get it confirmed though that AT&T is?
Not yet. So today we're gonna. I think we may even just like put a mask on and pop down. The store is open. We may go down there and ask them. I don't know. I can't decide. If I want to go in there or not. Like, there's a lot of surfaces in an AT&T store, and I'm sure they've cleaned it up.
Just don't touch any of them. You don't have to lick them.
That's true. I'll just walk in, arms folded, and go, "Is my data plan eligible for free HBO Max?" And see what they say. I'll just yell it when I walk in. What do you think? How do you think that'll go? You think it'll be fine?
Good. I want to know if I get my Max for free.
I'll go, "Hey! Hey!
I don't know. I thought I went to the website for AT&T, basically AT&T TV. Oh, you're not doing AT&T TV.
No, we're not doing that. No. All we have is, so supposedly their family data plan at a certain unlimited level. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what the name of it is. They're very confusing about their stuff. But if
they absolutely are. Yes.
Whatever that thing is, I think we have it, and I think that makes us eligible. Mm-hmm. But we're just having a hard time verifying it. So I don't know. I got to figure it out. I'll figure it out because I don't want to be paying the $12 a month for this thing if I'm supposed to be getting it for free. It probably means I have to relinquish my private login and use whatever my AT&T one is, or somehow I can merge those. I need a human being for this. I don't think a robot's going to know. There's no robots that know. Oh, by the way, I got hacked in like 15 different ways yesterday. I didn't get hacked, but I had attempts because I'm two-factored up, man. I got two-factor on everything. So
I am two-factored up.
That's right.
This biatch.
That's exactly right. And I felt pretty good about it because there were attempts on my Google accounts, attempts on my Apple account, Netflix of all things. That was weird. What else? Oh, my Squarespace account. A whole bunch of stuff where there were attempts made to get into my stuff. Long story why, not getting into it. I already talked about it on Twitter. Go read that if you want. I'm not giving that guy any more oxygen, whoever that was. I assume it's one guy. I don't actually know.
It's got to be one guy. Just one angry Captain Dipshit is what he is.
Yeah. So now you can hack Brian's stuff. All right. So anyways.
Be my guest. My Wikipedia already says that I was a member of Richard Cheese's band. You can tell, and it said that for months.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe even years. You can tell how much I care.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, the Wikipedia thing was, I forgot about that. That happened again multiple times yesterday. So I don't know who's doing all this. But I two-factored my life, so you can't get my accounts. Neener. All right, that's not a challenge for people who are really good at this. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Anyway, the point is, what was my point? I had a point.
Hacked.
I had a point about. It was a transition point from.
Yes, right. It was how busy you were yesterday dealing with all that stuff.
Maybe. What was I gonna say? I forgot. AT&T account? No.
Yeah.
There was a point. I don't know what it was. Luke Sidewalker says no point, and he's probably right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
one of these days, like our memory is just going to get worse and worse to the point where we're going to have to pause the show, rewind back, and listen to it ourselves to remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, I need a little DVR boop, boop thing that just lets me go back and do it. That's all right. I don't remember anyway. Whatever the point was, I'm sure it was pointless. Okay. A couple things here this morning. I wanted to wish I've been holding on to this one for a while for the date, but I want to wish a member of our community a very happy birthday. This comes from this person's wife, and I'm going to try to do this in a way that's fun and surprising because I'm pretty sure they're here. Let me just see. I hope they're here because the goal was to try to have them here. Anyway, here's what the message says. Hey guys, my husband, Rusty Nails, and I watch the morning stream, Boop Show, The Instance, Coverville, Core, and all of Scott's drawing streams. You could say we're super fans. May 31st is Rusty Nails' 40th birthday. And I know we're not to the 31st yet, but I wanted to get it out before we, I don't want to miss it. His 40th birthday.
31st is Sunday anyway, so there's,
Oh, yeah, good point. We don't have another.
If he's not a patron, then...
well, even then, he's going
to hear it.
Even then it'd be hosed because Fridays... We're not doing Friday.
We're not doing a show tomorrow,
right?
Because we did the play date.
Yeah. So I'm really glad we did it today.
Yeah.
It's his 40th birthday and their 9th anniversary. That means you got married on Rusty Nails' birthday. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. It says here, we also sleep on a bed of Rusty Nails. That's how he got his name. Just kidding. That does not say that. I made that part up. It would be awesome if y'all would wish him a happy birthday. Thanks so much for keeping us all entertained and upbeat, especially during these uncertain times. Winky face. That's from Diane. Diane, that's awesome. She is Chewy Z321 in the chat, and we are more than happy to give familiar face.
There he is right there.
Is he right there? Oh,
Rusty Nails 102. She is awesome.
Yeah.
And you're awesome too, Rusty Nails.
Yeah,
Thank you for always being here and in this chat, in other chats. I see you in the Coverville chat, the Guess the Connection stuff.
He's in everything. I saw him. John was streaming Deep Rock Galactic the other night, and I hopped in for a couple of rounds, and there was Rusty Nails. Like, he's just that dude's around, man. So,
wow. Does Diane feel like a podcast widow? Like, are you in? Maybe you're watching too many podcasts, Rusty Nails.
Maybe.
And tell me what the 102 means at the end of your name.
Yeah, what is 102 at the end? Is it because there's already 101 other ones of you? Or?
Yeah, were there 101 Rusty Nails before you?
101 Rusty Nails, 101 Rusty Nails. Stick one in, you'll get tetanus shots.
Oh, he says fun story about that, which means it's a long story.
Oh, all right. Well, share it with us when you've got the time there, Rusty Nails. And also, happy 40th. That's a big one. So, grats.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I used to think that was old. It's not. It was 10 years ago.
No,
it wasn't that old. We were doing. Oh wait, were we doing a podcast? Were we doing the TMS? Next year's our 10 year, right?
Right. So we weren't doing TMS yet, but we were We were
You're doing Film Sack. That came in 09. So.
we were doing Film Sack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to remember. If obviously, Film Sack had to come before this.
Yeah, that was 2009. So we're 10.
It's
We're
just
almost 11
slower
years.
because we take longer to put those out.
We-
We take a whole week to put one episode out.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2 weeks to put one episode out.
Sometimes you never know. Anyway, happy birthday once again. All right, fun times ahead, everybody. You know what time it is? It's the last Thursday of the month, and that means we're adding to the call a certain person of Australian descent. Her name is Gidget. She's showing offline. However, oh no, she's
I
online.
talked to her this morning. She says she's rocking a 60s look today.
Oh, well then we'll see that on camera here shortly.
If
If she decides to send it to us.
if the Colonel set things up for her
Is it the Colonel?
before he went to bed.
Is that his rank? It
Yeah.
is the Colonel. Okay.
Is Colonel, yes.
All right.
His angry man is her
Hi,
co-host.
guys.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Oh, that's weird.
Hello.
That's left over from
That looks like
Playdate.
yeah. We see you in a giant full screen of your
Oh.
whole desktop. Is
Oh,
what
well,
we
Yeah,
that's
see.
do you want us
lucky.
to see your entire desktop?
I see your whole
Look at that.
desktop.
No, not really.
It's like you're just in a tiny window. So you're sending
So you're a Windows 10 user. That's cool.
I think are you sure you're
Well,
not
this
my
is
mom?
actually this is my partner Colonel's. Oh, here, hang on. He's coming in.
I think
Shit's gone wild. Hang on.
I think you're my mom. She's been my mom and I never knew it.
Oh, look at that. Wow, now there's a Gidget within a Gidget within a Gidget within a Gidget within.
Yeah, it goes for
Oh my
it's an
God.
eternal gauge. Oh, there you go. Got
Okay,
it.
there we go.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah,
Yay.
there we go. All right.
Oh, I like a Gidget.
It wouldn't be fun if we didn't have some weird thing. All right, I got to play this for you.
Trivial thing.
Hey, check it out. It's Gidget. She's here from Australia, and she also has a podcaster, and we'll talk about that later. She comes on once a month, last Thursday of the month, and tries to get me and Brian to kill each other in trivia, and it's great.
Yep.
Currently, Brian leads by, I think, 2 sessions, that is.
Maybe one. I don't know. Yeah.
Something like that, which is a real
That's the
bummer
one
for
thing
me.
we're not keeping track of very
Yeah,
well.
Not very well.
I'm not either, so don't worry about
Oh, okay, good.
How
Gidget,
often? How often do you have to feed your jacket?
it. Well, Colonel calls it the Muppet jacket.
Yeah.
It's my Muppet jacket.
I like
How
it.
many
this
Muppets had
is
to die to?
a lot. I had to murder a lot of Muppets, but it was Frank Oz's birthday this week, so I thought, you know.
Oh, there you go. There you
Hey,
go.
did
Yeah,
you guys
oh,
know? Did you guys know Frank Oz is 6'2" and that what's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Jim Henson.
Jim Henson?
He was 6'3". He was my height. What's that about?
Oh, wow.
I didn't
saw
know those
that.
guys were so tall. Think about what they had to do to get all under stuff and like get both
Exactly. Yeah,
hands up.
way better if your puppeteers are short and diminutive and can fit in small places.
I agree. I was just like shocked by that info today. I heard that today, in fact. So happy birthday, Frank Oz. You dirty,
Whenever it may be.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was great. Yeah, whatever your age may be.
Great film,
Our
and
babysits.
Little Shop of Horrors
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
He's a multi-talented man. And can I say happy birthday, Rusty Nails, by the way?
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. Yes, you can
Happy
say
birthday.
that. You can say that. Now all 3 of us have done it. Now he has to have a good birthday. There's no
Exactly.
no holding
Yeah,
back.
Rule of
that's
threes.
exactly right.
Hey, how did the Colonel?
And my
oh,
last appearance last month,
Yeah.
I didn't get to read the Tadpool. So I went through the Tadpool comments. There were some interesting ones. First of all, Hank Plov Craft said Gidget has the best hair. Thank you very much.
Oh, very nice.
Someone else, Luke Sightwalker, said Gidget keeps her cocktail nest in her hair. Hank Plovecraft also said Gidget is obviously coked up. I wish. Wind Magnus
Mhm.
said, I have not seen Gidget before and I imagined her with black hair. So who knows? Next podcast, you might get my black hair wig. So
Oh, you
know.
should
there
do
you
it.
go.
You should totally do it. I want to see what that is. That's cool.
Yeah.
I got a redhead one too. So
Yeah.
I might try a few things.
Yeah, let's see if you can do it. Let's see how that matches your Muppet jacket. That'll be cool.
Yes. does the hair match the jacket?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah.
You bet it does.
Yeah, well, you were avoiding the other one, weren't you? Yeah.
All right. Hey, trivia. Listen, I don't know. What is our even topic today? I don't even know what we're doing. What is it?
It's comedy films
Oh,
from any era.
Any era. Ooh, that could be
Yes.
like now.
Not just the 80s.
All right.
No.
You can't. Now,
All
what
right,
do you,
so,
wait, let me ask you this. What do you include? You're not putting like rom-coms. Do they count? Are you including some of that garbage or no?
No, not
Okay.
really.
Good.
I'm basically just just doing movies that are really funny.
Okay, good. Because rom-coms generally are
in
not
my
funny.
view, because as we know, comedy is individual. So
Mhm.
you know, there might be some on the list that people go, well, that was a load of bollocks. So who knows?
All right.
All right. I'm officially hiding the chat room right now. Chat room, goodbye.
Hey, I have a quick question. Yeah, goodbye, chat room. There we go. They're out. I have a quick question about this term "load of bollocks." Can I just ask you real quick? Okay, so
Yes.
I hear it from British people and Australian people. I would like to know how many testicles are in a load of bollocks.
I think a bag of bollocks.
Okay, so how many are in a bag though? Like you've,
I'd say 12.
As many as you can fit, really.
Yeah.
12.
Depends on the size of the bollocks, doesn't it?
All right, and a bollocks is what I think it is. It's a testicle, right? It's a ball.
Testicle, sure.
Okay, it's a
They're
ball.
balls, baby, balls.
All right.
All right.
Never mind the bollocks. Let's get to the trivia.
All right, let's do the trivia. What do you got?
All right, who wants to go first?
I'm losing, so me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So, Scott, who plays Dr. Rummack in the 1980 parody film Airplane?
Oh,
Or For Us Flying High?
Doctor. Sorry, give me the last name again.
Who plays Dr. Rummack in the 1980 parody Airplane Flying High?
I think that's Lloyd Bridges. No?
Doctor?
Yeah.
Goes to Brian. Goes to Brian.
All right, Brian.
Is it Leslie Nielsen?
It is correct.
Damn it!
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
I guess that I went the
Doctor,
glass half.
I mean, Lloyd Bridges was the flight controller.
I know, but I thought maybe he was a doctor in that. I wasn't thinking.
Doctor, you know, surely you can't
Dr.
be
Flight
serious.
Controller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dr.
I am
Flight
serious and don't call me Shirley. You know.
And Leon's getting larger.
Larger.
Oh, I love that guy. It's like a great big Tylenol. Anyway.
All right, Brian.
All right.
All right, who played Marie Kimball Johnson in the 1979 comedy The Jerk?
Bernadette Peters?
Correct.
Gosh dang it. I wouldn't have known that.
She was cute.
She's
I like,
so
yeah,
cute
I like
and very
her.
talented.
She's still around, right? She's still with us?
Great singer. She is still around.
Yeah.
As long as there's a Broadway, as long as there's a cabaret to perform in, then we'll have Bernadette
Is it?
Peters singing.
And she was Steve Martin's girlfriend at the time too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really? Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They were doing it.
All right.
Okay. So Scott. All right. What is the 1974 comedy film with the characters Taggart, Mongo, Lily Von Stupp, and the Waco Kid?
Taggart. What year again?
1974. Taggart, Mongo, Lily Von Stupp,
Oh.
and the Waco Kid.
Animal House. Animal House.
Oh,
It's not Animal
What?
House? It's not Animal House?
Go to Brian.
What?
is that Blazing Saddles?
Correct.
Oh, shit! I've mixed them up.
You sure mixed them up.
Damn
Lily
it.
Von Stupp was the only name that would have done it.
Right, what's her name?
Madeline Kahn.
Madeline Kahn's
Madeline
character.
Kahn, yeah.
Gosh dang
Yeah. Hello, cowboy.
it. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, boy, we're off to
You know
a real.
what? You were talking earlier about having weird dreams and stuff like that, and I've got a theory on that.
Oh yeah, go
Right?
for it. Go
Dreams and nightmares, and
Yeah.
everyone says there's reasons to them. Well, they say psychopaths don't dream, right? So my
Oh,
theory
no.
is, my theory is that when you dream, you're not in control of your mind. Whereas when we wake up of a day, we're in control of what we think about and whatever. When we're asleep, we're insane.
Oh, there may
That's
be
my
something
theory.
to that. Yeah, that's possible. And Brian, that makes you no. See, Brian, you still have dreams. You just don't
I
remember
dream.
them.
I just don't remember my dreams. I remember that I had dreams, but I just don't remember what they were.
Yeah,
So
you're just
I'm
a-
not-
Most people don't remember their dreams because they don't want to remember them because they're just weird. They don't
Yeah.
make any sense. You know, there's
So-
staircases up to nowhere, and then you drop off and fall into a shark's mouth, and it's all very weird. So
Yeah.
That's right.
our brain chooses not to remember.
Yeah,
them.
if anyone
So
out there's a
you're
true,
all good.
if anyone out there's a clinical psychopath, will you let us know if you dream or not? Because that'll confirm it.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
fact. That is a fact. I read a lot of weird books, and that's a fact that they don't dream because they're living out their weirdest life.
I love that you say I've read a lot of weird books, and it's a fact. That's a great. That's a
Right,
that's a great
exactly.
bit of proof. I like that. That's good.
I am blonde, so you know.
Yeah, sure. All right, who's next?
Okay, all right.
I think
So,
it's me, 'cause I stole your.
Scott mucked up that one, so
Yeah.
it's Bri-Bri's time.
All right.
Yep.
All right. What does Dr. Evil name his clone?
Oh, Mini-Me.
Correct.
Oh, come on.
That was a gift.
Oh,
A
Scoop
I
of
thought
chocolate,
they were
scoop of
all
vanilla.
easy.
I'd have had
I
that.
really thought they were all
It was
easy. All right, Scott.
Yeah.
That was easy.
All right. What is the movie? What movie is the line, "Are you a pothead, Fokker?" from?
Really?
Yeah. Come on, you've got this.
I don't know.
That last name is a big clue.
Fokker.
No, I got it. Um,
I'm not swearing, listeners. Trust me.
No, we're not going to get an explicit tag. We're going to get a explicit
yeah.
tag.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I've never heard it. Is it a trick? Is it a trick question? Are you trying to fool
It's
me?
No.
not a trick question.
No, it's not a trick question
Okay.
at all.
Okay, say it one more time.
All right. What movie is the line, "Are you a pothead, Fokker?" from? There was a sequel with that name in it.
That should be a big hit right there.
Oh,
Trying to help.
it wasn't. It's not Crocodile Dundee, is it?
Correct. It's not Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
Gosh,
that is correct.
dang it.
It's not that.
Ah,
Brian,
take it.
Brian's going to sweep this.
I've got nipples. Could you milk me? That's
Yeah.
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents. I never saw Meet the Parents. Oh,
No,
the
but you probably heard of a
Fockers.
movie called Meet the Fockers.
Meet the Fockers. Gosh dang
Yeah.
it. All right. I should have known, but I may have said Meet the Fockers and gotten it wrong because that's a sequel. Anyway.
Right, but at least you would have been close.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't even get within cooey, mate. You just stuffed it completely.
Never saw that movie. I don't know if it was any good or not. Never saw it.
It's all right. If
Yeah.
you feel like Ben Stiller, I don't really, but I've seen the movie still. So anyway,
Yeah.
all right, Brian.
Yes.
All right, this is a toughie for Brian.
Okay.
See how you go. In which state does Napoleon Dynamite take place?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I believe it's Utah, isn't it? Oh, it's not.
Incorrect.
Is it New Mexico?
That is
No,
not-
you don't get
that
to
is
say.
not-
I get to
I don't
steal
get
it.
to. Well, yeah, you get to steal.
It's Idaho, damn it.
Idaho. Okay.
This is an easy
Go,
one, and
well done.
here's why this is easy. The dude was he went to school here. He's like a huge local hero. Jared
John
Hess
Heder?
and his wife. No, Jared Hess.
Oh, Jared Hess. Mhm.
And they so it was the biggest deal that this was just north of us in that crappy town. Yeah, so that's a good one, and I'm glad Brian got it wrong. I feel good about it.
Totally
There you
fine
go.
getting that one wrong because
Yeah.
it looked
There you
like
go.
Utah.
Yeah, it was very
Colonel got it wrong too. So he said Kansas. So
yeah.
yeah, there you go. All right. So this is Scott now. Sorry, Scott. What is Rob Reiner's character name in This Is Spinal Tap?
Oh, jeez. Meathead.
I'll give it to you if you can get his first name.
Oh, first name. I don't know. Daryl. I have no idea. I don't know what it is. I have no
All
idea.
right, go to Brian.
It's Marty DeBurgi, director
It is
Marty
indeed.
DeBurgi.
Yep.
And glad you didn't ask me what the Navy ship that that is on his hat, because there's like a typo or something in it. Like that's like a little joke.
Yeah.
That's one of those obscure ones that if you went on Mastermind and you said my subject is This Is Spinal Tap, that's a question they'd ask you.
Yeah.
Probably, but
the hat absolutely would. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it is now Brian.
Mm-hmm.
What toy does Arnold Schwarzenegger's son want in the movie Jingle All the Way?
Oh crap! Well, it's a red action figure, like a superhero action figure, and the name of it is Captain
Tadpole are getting it.
Captain Shazam. Yeah, I'm never gonna get the name of that little red
No,
action
over to
figure.
Scott.
Yeah.
All right. I actually know this, and the only reason I know it is because of that stupid animated thing from DreamWorks, and it always reminds me of it. I think it's Turbo Man. Turbo Man?
That is correct.
Turbo Man.
Nice steal. There's a lot of stealing in this.
I can't
There
believe I actually kind of like Jingle All the Way, weirdly. That's not
Really, I've never seen it. I've just seen a clip of the trailers where he's going after that red action figure.
Mind you, I don't think it's
It's not the best comedy.
No, it's not.
No.
It just has its moments, and it's, I don't know, there's a charm to Arnold when he's not being an action hero, and I kind of like that.
It's dangled onto our film sack list many a time and never fully gotten snapped up.
Yeah, not quite.
I don't blame you. I've seen it once, and I was trying to make a big variety here. So, all right. So it is now Scott's turn.
Yep.
Scott's turn, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. In Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Peter has an idea to make a musical about what?
I never saw this movie. That's the one with that weird British comedian with all the hair and the Katy Perry's ex beau or whatever.
Russell.
Third Illusion got it in the chat.
I think I might have it, but I'm not sure.
I don't even know if I've heard. I have to pass. I don't know. I have no idea. I never saw it.
Okay, so Brian, do you know it?
Is it a musical about Dracula?
It is.
Okay.
Damn it.
Yep.
Puppets?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I don't remember that.
I want to suck your blood. Okay. All right. So this is now Brian.
Oh, that's the one where the dude from Dazed and Confused shows his bum. He has his bum out.
Yes. Yeah.
I think actually Jason Segel has his wiener out in this one.
Oh, yeah, he did. That's right. That was controversial because he gets
full frontal in.
Yeah, full wiener. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sure do. Okay, Brian.
Yes.
This is an easy one. If you don't get this one, I'm gonna have to come over there and bitch slap you. In what movie? Okay. In what movie did Aretha Franklin sing "Respect and Think"?
The Blues Brothers.
Jeez.
Correct.
Gosh dang it, that is easy.
I know.
I'll give you a ding.
All right, so that's 10, but I do have 2 more if you want to go there.
Yeah, do give us the bonus 2. Let's see if I can't redeem myself a little bit. I don't know how far behind I am. I'm not looking at the chat.
I think you're mathematically eliminated, but let's go for it anyway.
All right, let's try it.
You're basically in the outback, Scott. You're standing alone in the outback. Yep. Okay, so all right, Scott. Number 11. Which disc jockey played himself in the movie American Graffiti?
Wolfgang Jack.
Yeah.
That's correct, right? Or wait, what's his name?
Wolfman.
Or Wolfman, not what I say. Wolfgang. I meant
Wolfgang Amadeus Jack.
Mozart. Yeah. Yeah, it was Mozart. He was the DJ in American Graffiti.
Okay.
No, look, I know what you were talking about. I know you knew it. So that.
For sure.
All right. So Brian, do you want one?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Yeah. Okay. What borough of New York City does grown-up Josh rent an apartment in the movie Big?
Oh, geez. Oh, it's like the posh neighborhood because he's got an entire loft all to himself, and it's like the Upper West Side. I guess it's a borough, so it'd have to be like Brooklyn or the Bronx or
Posh, expensive.
I know. What is the expensive one?
I know.
I only know about the Beastie Boys ones, so it's like the cheap ones.
Do you want to cross to Scott? Scott, do you know it?
I do. It's Manhattan.
Correct.
Yeah, there you go. Manhattan.
God's come good right at the end.
Yeah, I had a good run at the end, but I think mathematically I was kind of screwed. So I'm pulling up the chat. Where was I? 3 and 7?
Brian wins.
I got more than 3.
You got with the last 2 you got 5, so 5 and 7.
Yeah, but didn't I get? I got more than 3 total, didn't I?
Hang on, let me count.
Miss Marie says 4.
Brian.
I stole at least 2, right?
1, 2.
I stole Idaho
3,
and I
4.
stole.
You got 4.
I stole.
You got
4. Okay, 4. That's not that
do you
bad.
You want to try and get 5, Scott?
No. Wait, do you have you're saying you have one more question? Let me try it. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. In Scrooged, what is Bill Murray's character's profession?
Oh, he runs the. He's a TV executive.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Network, exactly.
But you said movies that are funny. You said movies that are funny. Just kidding.
Scrooge is
Just
funny.
kidding. I don't like Scrooge. I know I'm an outlier. Really? I don't like it. Yeah, it's my least favorite Bill Murray thing. I wish I liked it.
Oh my God.
I know.
Mine is Groundhog Day, so there you go.
Oh my gosh, you don't like Groundhog Day?
It's all right. It's not up the top there for me with Bill Murray.
So you would put Scrooged above Groundhog Day?
Holy crap. I don't even think Brian.
Day, sir.
Yeah.
You get
every
nothing.
Single person that even remotely liked me right now.
You get no vaccine. No, that shouldn't say that. That's a bad time to say that.
I'm stuffed. I'm just being honest.
It's all good.
It's totally fine. People can like what they like, and it's totally fine.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right. I don't know why people get so upset about people not liking movies they like. I don't get that mentality. It's like, if you enjoy a film, brilliant.
That's right.
That's it, boys. Well done. Brian does win.
Yeah, well done.
Scott came good.
Thank you very much. Tell people about your show.
Come over and bitch slap me though.
You're gonna cut me off?
No, I want you to tell everybody what your movie show is about, so you can go find it.
I don't trust you, Scott. You just. All right, I'm co-host of the Retro Cinema Podcast. We talk about 80s movies we loved back then and still love now. And we've just released our 2-part podcast of Starman with Jeff Bridges.
Oh, I love Starman. That's an awesome movie. All right.
There you go. Yeah, that's why we did it in 2 parts. It's a great film.
Red means stop. Green means go. Yellow means go very fast.
Go very fast, yeah.
All right.
Karen Allen's adorable in it, and Jeff Bridges is great, and it's a really good John Carpenter film, and it's lovely. And we're on every listening platform as well. So look up the Retro Cinema Podcast with me and Angry Man.
All right.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, say hi to the Colonel and tell him we love his fried chicken. All right. There you go. I feel a little better about the tail end of that, but man, sometimes the hard part was, I guess, you know what? Here's the truth, and this is something I just haven't really thought about very much, but I'm really not one drawn to movies that are meant to be funny, or they have to be a certain kind of funny for me to be interested. So
really?
I've never seen the Hangover movies. I've never seen one of those. Oh. I'd
say the first one is worth seeing.
Yeah. What about the one with all the ladies in it where what's her name has to poo real bad? What's that one called?
Oh, Bridesmaids?
Yeah, I never saw that.
Bridesmaids is pretty funny. It's funny that you shy away from stuff like that.
It's not so much shy away from. I just never get around to it. I definitely don't feel like I want to go to a theater and watch them.
Oh, well, yeah, no. I mean, you can...
so I don't know.
Stream them.
Yeah. And this is the opposite, by the way. It depends on the movie. Like, there are some movies I think that are hilarious. I'm trying to think of one so I could say one. I can't think of one. I don't know why. There's certain movies that I guess I don't know. It's just, to me, movies are like, show me something cool or big or loud or subtle and interesting. And I associate comedies. They're just so, you know what it is? Comedies are just so subjective. There's just no.
They are. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So that's hard for me. But anyway, I'm trying to think of a good one and I can't think of one. All right.
I was trying to come up with one to ask you if you liked, but I'm probably going to say, like, what about? No.
It's hard, right? It's hard to think of a.
It is hard.
Okay, yeah. Kingpin. I love Kingpin.
Okay. Well, geez. Then it feels like, I mean, that level of comedy, Hangover and Bridesmaids would kind of be right up your alley.
Right. But I don't know if I would have I don't know if I would have sought it out. I think the reason I like Kingpin is because it's this weird thing about bowling. Like, I need the quirk of it. Like, my kind of humor in a film is like what the Coen brothers bring, not necessarily what Jim Carrey might bring. Like, that's hard to explain. I don't know. Comedy's hard, it turns out. That's what it is.
Comedy is hard.
Right. All right. That's it for that. That's all we've done there. Let's do some news. We have time for that.
Absolutely, we do.
Here you go. Time for the news, brought to you by
every Wednesday, video game talk and good arpening.
What did I write
Get
there?
More. I don't know. Good arpening. Get more at frogpants.com/core.
I don't know what that is. Good.
I'm going to copy and paste that into the chat room so they can see what these 3 words are.
Yeah, the whole thing's wrong. I wrote core every Wednesdays.
I know.
Video game talk and good arpening.
Did you write this in your sleep, like late at night or something?
I don't know.
Good arpening.
Good arpening. Video game talk and
good
No, it would have been ass.
Good.
I don't know what it is.
It's like when Jerry wakes up and looks at the note that he wrote next to his bed, like the greatest joke, and he's like, "Does that look like the word sandwich to you?"
I don't know what I wrote. Anyway, yeah, you're going to want to check out Core. We did one last night, and it was great. We had a great time, and Bo and John are fun to record with, so check that out. I really don't remember what the hell I was saying. Good S-arpening.
That now needs to be your new slogan for the show, though.
Yeah.
Welcome to Core, where good S-arpening. I'm Scott Johnson, and with me is...
It almost sounds like I'm trying to say, and good something happening?
Yeah.
What if I put them together? S and R.
I mean, ES is over there by the W. Good word. No.
Talking good. S. ES. Arpening.
Arpening.
Is happening?
Good shit happening? Like, but I don't understand. Like,
video game talk and
goodies. Goodies happening? Video game talk and goodies happening?
I don't think so. I don't know why I would have said goodies.
Yeah.
Video game talk and good is happening? No. Good. I don't know, dude.
Wow. All right. I don't know either.
Good knife sharpening. I don't know.
Good knife sharpening.
Yep. All right. Moving on. Let's do some news where other people wrote things that I can read.
Yes.
That aren't things I typed.
So nothing from the Huffington Post is what you're saying.
Nothing like that. Actually, it's been ages since I've used.
I know. I haven't seen. Yeah.
They've lost their game on the good news coverage we like to cover here. They've screwed up. Mercedes cover. This is a car they're talking about, not a person named Mercedes.
That's not Mercedes rule. Okay.
No. A Mercedes covered in poop after allegedly parking on a farmer's field. Do not mess with farmers, dude. They will They'll cover your car in poop. The chat room says good Ed Asnering. No, Jerry Tolbert. It's not good Ed Asnering.
I could use a real good Ed Asnering right now. I'll tell you that.
Sounds dirty. I don't want a good Ed Asnering. It was supposed to be a lovely weekend at the beach for one Mercedes-Benz C-Class owner ended up being a real mess. Literally, the compact premium sedan generation W204 was parked on a farmer's land, which is located near the Trevena village, situated in the Atlantic coast of Cornwall, England, United Kingdom. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Annoyed by the car on his farm, the tractor driver covered the entire car in muck. It says muck, but I think he means poo.
I think he means poo. I'm looking at the video right now from the site.
There's video.
Yeah, the video from the tractor, from the guy driving the tractor. He's driving along next to the Mercedes.
Oh my!
But I can't. But the way he's got the oh, there we go. Now it's starting to. The stuff is coming from behind. I'll tell you. You can go all the way to like 45 seconds or 43 seconds in this video that's on the site.
It won't run for me for some reason. Is it blocked?
Oh yeah, don't ignore that stupid photo of a hand holding an iPhone 2.
Yeah.
Go down to the Twitter post.
Oh, there we go. Okay. And you say I can go about 40 seconds
jump into 42 seconds. Really.
Right. Here we go. 34. Oh, geez. Here we come. Right now it's nice and shiny. Okay. Oh, yeah, look at that coming. That's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of don't blame him. Like,
no, not at all.
Get your car off my land, you know?
I don't think that the farmer was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to go fire up the tractor and do this. I'm sure he was already doing this to his field. He was already fertilizing his field and said, welp.
Yeah.
Yep. Park there. I guess you lose.
Yep. This is true. Oh, breaking news in the chat room. Scott Baio is trending. Why? What's going on with Scott Baio?
Is he in charge of something?
Let's find out.
Are we going to find out that he secretly loves Chachi also?
It's just a fight with him and Wanda Sykes. Who cares? It's politics. F off. Celebrities, I don't want to hear about you. Except in the context of dumb news that we read on the show.
It's funny. We even get a top story. Why is Scott Baio trending on Twitter? Because Wanda Sykes murdered him ... And probably follows murdered him on Twitter.
On social media, but it'd be funny if she actually murdered. And well, it wouldn't be funny, but if the headline was Wanda Sykes murders Scott Baio in a rage,
yeah, then exactly.
I'd like to hear more about that.
Yes.
The girl on
neither
Charles
in charge of my days nor my nights.
yeah, nor my nights. The girl on Charles in Charge claims that he was like dirty pervy boy on that show. Like she was.
I don't doubt that one bit.
She was 16 or something, and he was 20 something, and he was like making the moves and being all gross.
Weren't you more expecting that from Willie Ames than
I don't know.
Scott Baio?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he was always made out to be the skeevy one on the shows and movies they did together, but maybe it was flipped. He was like the nicer guy. I don't know.
God, when are we going to watch that? When is that movie going to be streaming? Zapped, I think it is.
Right. That's where he could like snap his fingers and ladies would go naked.
At least that's what the movie poster implied.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know about that movie is just what's on the movie poster.
Willie Ames is Bible boy now, says Dead Polymers. Interesting.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. A Christian superhero, they say.
Hanging out with Kirk Cameron?
Yeah. Are they party ended up and writing the sequel to...
Are they sharing hair curling tips?
Just the tips.
Just the tips. Well done, sir.
Well, you know. All right, moving on. Hey, here's some dumb kids. I was a dumb kid, but not this dumb. Boys let a black widow bite them in hopes of turning into Spider-Man. Brian, this could have been you when you were younger.
Wow.
You love Spider-Man.
It easily could have been me with my love of Spider-Man,
yeah.
yes.
3 young Bolivian brothers. That's a great title right there. We're hostile.
Starring Ben Stiller.
Wait, who are the other brothers then?
Ben Stiller. So 3 young Bolivian brothers, starring Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, and Will Ferrell.
Okay, it's a movie that feels like it's already been made. Nice job.
Blue Ridge John says that Zapped is free on Prime right now.
Shut up. Really? Maybe we have to put it on there.
I think this happens after Phantasm or The Phantasm.
Just Phantasm, right?
Just Phantasm.
Oh, now I'm confused again. I thought I had it right.
Blue Ridge John says, wait, that is the other Zapped. There's more than one Zapped?
Well, there was a modern recreation of Zapped, right?
No way, really? That was a movie that somebody felt needed a reboot?
Yeah,
that's it right there. Zapped on Prime, 1982.
Yeah, that's the one. Right?
Scott Baio and Williams peeping in a window going, click, and a woman's skirt flies up.
Yeah, because we thought that was, in the 80s, that was really funny to assault women with our minds.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was a hoot then.
2 rebellious teens accidentally discover the formula for telekinetic energy and use it to cause havoc at school.
Sounds like a winner. We should probably watch it for Film Sack, see how that thing holds up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm exercising my executive power right now.
Okay. All right.
And I'm putting it on the list for right after.
I mean, we have 3 branches of government inside of Film Sack, and we try to keep them separate, but there can be, under certain circumstances, like war or something like that, one of us can stand up and go, I'm sorry, we are watching this, none of you can do anything. And
so
vetoes won't matter. We're not vetoing it, we're just doing it. So I'm with Brian. I'll vote with Brian.
And I'm sure Dunaway has it on Laserdisc.
Yeah, or just watched it like last week because he always somehow.
Right, exactly. Okay, good.
Anyway,
all right.
So these guys got all bit by a spider because they wanted to be Spider-Man. They thought it would turn them into Spider-Man, according to officials. The Marvel-loving siblings, ages 12, 10, and 8. I blame the 12-year-old, honestly. Found the spider while herding goats. This is on Saturday. This is according to Telemundo. Which I always confuse with the band Menudo, and I don't know why.
I know. What if there was a Telemenudo? Like it was just a TV network that all they did was show Menudo videos. That would really confuse things.
Yeah, hosted by Ricky Martin, former member of Menudo.
Remember? Yes.
It says thinking it would give them superpowers, they prodded it with a stick until it bit each one of them in turn. Finding them crying, their mom rushed them to a nearby health center. We call those hospitals or clinics, which transferred them to a nearby hospital, Telemundo said. The would-be Peter Parkers were transferred a 3rd time, taken to the Children's Hospital in La Paz the next day with fevers, tremors, muscle pains. These are all symptoms of being bit by a black widow. I'm
wondering how I got into this mess.
It all started They were treated and discharged last Wednesday, almost a week after they were bitten. They shared the drama as a warning to parents, saying, "For children, everything is real. Movies are real, even though they are in fact an illusion," she says. Well, no, we know. Kids don't. Hey, you know what? I might aim this one at you, lady. I think maybe you did a bad job of telling your kid if the movie was real or not.
Yes.
Because
right. Oh, it's those movies.
Let's go ahead and shift that.
It's certainly not me as a parent that told my kids maybe don't let a black widow bite you.
Yeah. Like, hello.
This
anyway,
probably happens all the time because of those movies.
Now, here's what I didn't know. Venom of that of the Black Widow spider is 15 times stronger than that of a rattlesnake. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like super concentrated bad.
Yeah.
So these kids are lucky to have survived.
Yes, for sure. According to National Geographic, they are most venomous in North America. So if you ever see one here, don't freaking mess with them, man. Leave them alone. All right, a Pakistani villager in the news.
Okay.
He is urging India to return his spy pigeon. Please bring back the spy pigeon, he says.
Bring back pigeon. Bring back to us.
Bring back to us. Shankara Stone. We are not being racist. We're talking about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Referencing a racist movie, which is totally different.
Yes. Thank you for clarification. Pakistani villagers urged Indian Prime Minister to return his pigeon, currently being held in India on charges of spying. The man, who just lives 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles or so from the border, says he flew his pigeons to celebrate the Eid festival, whatever that is, EID. Police said.
Pigeon festival.
Would you say the fried pigeon festival? Is that what you said?
No, I said the spy pigeon,
Oh.
but yours works too. The fried pigeon festival. Bring back my spy pigeon. We're actually going to cook him.
We're going to fry him up and eat him for the festival, you jerks. Police say the pigeon had a ring on one of its legs inscribed with a code that they were trying to decipher. The Pakistani villager claims the arrested pigeon is his, says the code is actually just his mobile number. Pakistan's Dawn newspaper has identified the man as Habibullah and reports that he owns a dozen of these pigeons. Habibullah told the paper that his pigeon was a symbol of peace and India should refrain from victimizing innocent birds.
Yeah, a spy is a symbol of peace.
Yep, a spy bird. Symbol of peace.
It's a peaceful spy.
I have the feeling India screwed up there. It's just a bird, you guys.
Yeah.
It's not a spy pigeon. Okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's Therapy Thursday. We're going to dig deep into a couple of concepts, and after that, a couple things as well. So stick around. We got to play a song, though. What do you have?
I have something that comes to us from Sabrosa. Big thanks to Shane at Sabrosa for this one. Fat Night is the name of the band. They have a brand new single.
Sure, well, I guess you want in 3D, huh?
Yeah, we finally made the switch.
You got to keep up with the times, you know.
Yeah, but,
But what?
well, there's 3D and 4D, you know. What's next?
What's next? You never know.
That's pretty fancy.
The morning stream. I am victorious this time, brother.
All right, we're back. We're back, Brian.
How 70s was that? So that is Fat Night, brand new song special. And this is one of those times that I just love the fact that we were able to do the music live so the stream folks hear it, because I can see reactions right away like, what are we listening to? What is this thing starting out all Earth, Wind, and Fire, funky, slow, somebody said baby making music, and then it gets into that disco stuff, and it's just so good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Good pick. Well done. And go check those guys out. All right, we're going to get Wendy all up in it. It's my sister, Wendy. You may be familiar with her. She is currently showing as offline, but that doesn't mean anything.
That means nothing to us.
Not a thing to me or you. But I'm going to text her anyway. Let's see. Oh, I got text. Well, we were off there. That was what? And Okay. All right, hold on to your butts, everybody. I'm pausing the show.
You're doing that right now. I'm holding on to it tightly, cupping it ever so firmly.
Yes. Hold on to your buttocks.
Oh, look at that. Matuba has a Turbo Man action figure.
Is it really his? Like it's his own?
Oh, that's a good question. I think so. I think, look at that Spider-Man in the background there.
Let's take a look-see here.
Yeah, this is from his Dropbox, so it must be.
Oh, look at that. Dude, what? They actually made these?
I think they did, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's got a Darth Vader helmet full of lightsabers.
That's crazy, man.
And a tipped over bottle of hand sanitizer in front of a photo of Siegfried and Roy, I think.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, that's actually taken at the bronze statue of Siegfried and Roy.
Oh, crazy.
The one on Las Vegas Boulevard, right in front of the Mirage.
Didn't
and maybe a birthday card?
Did we just lose Roy? It was Roy that just died, right?
Roy just died, yeah.
He had the COVID, I think. Oh, shoot. This is not right. Hold on. Okay. This isn't right. What the frick? Okay. For some reason, it kicked me out and started a call with Wendy, which I don't know why it did that. Okay, Wendy, are you there?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was really weird. It started I added you to the call, and it started a separate call with just me and you, and it's never done that before. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, hey, don't worry about it, because here you are. It's Wendy Dunford. She's my sister, and she has a theme, and I can't find it for some reason. Why is it not showing up? Okay.
I can just make up a word.
Oh, I found it.
Something wrong, Batman? Has anybody seen Wendy?
Sensorially. Well, that's totally a word.
Yeah, you could have made up a word. That's true. You're good
I still think that's a word.
That kind of is a word. Sensorially. Hey, it's my sister Wendy, who's a real therapist. She helps people all the time. Real Problems comes in here on Thursdays, does Therapy Thursday, and we help people with your problems. In today's case, we got a couple of topics to talk about. First of all, you said at the end of our conversation yesterday or this morning, you said, hey, I really want to touch on conspiracy theories a little bit. And I'm curious, in what way? I know we've talked about them before, but what is it about conspiracy theories you'd like to touch on today? We'll get that out of the way first.
Well, it's related to the other things too, of just sort of because what we're going to talk about today. Let me introduce it. Is this that? Well, okay. Let me start with my experience. I have gone from just no giant influx in people reaching out to me or old clients. I've just gotten a couple cute thank you notes and seeing my regular people, and they seem to be doing pretty good. And this was all March and then April and then most of May. And then as soon as, this to me is fascinating and predictable on one hand, but also just fascinating to watch. Mm-hmm. And of course, anecdotally, everyone, but also probably this will ring true for some people, is as soon as it was okay, states are going to open and things are going to start changing, and the opening up, even if it's not here. Mm-hmm. I'm not having any of your guys' experiences. I still can't get my hair cut.
Right.
Whatever. But it's as if, because we're observing each other and reading news from everywhere. Something, and the weather too, but something has shifted. And then I'm not kidding. Within a 10-hour window, I had 15 emails and phone calls of people I need this now. And it was so sudden. Yeah. And I was like, okay, crap.
I wouldn't have thought that you would hear so quickly on. I don't know why does that surprise me? I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Well, okay. So here's my theory for this, and it's anecdotally true, my own experience, and I'm sure there's some research on this, but it's prolonged pressure or stress. And it's kind of when you're having to get a bunch of stuff done, and it's just week after week, and then you finally get a break, you get a cold, right? Mm-hmm. Or you're just exhausted and you sleep all day, or there's some rebound effect to get back to equilibrium.
Right.
It's pretty normal to expect. And this is, of course, something, nobody's been through, at least that's alive, that as an adult, right? And you have weeks and weeks and weeks of stress and pressure. And I mean, I'm homeschooling 4 kids and I don't ever leave my house. In fact, I got in my car the other day. There were cobwebs in my car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was freaky. Some spider got in there, had a heyday. Yeah. So anyway, it's like such
this
a
is
weird.
Mine now.
I was like, then you pay for it, you piece of crap spider. Anyway, but that idea of being like pressure, and then it's like a little valve is released, and this is true of prolonged grief. This is true of lots of things. We think we'll just feel better. We think it's just relief, but what it means is we've just bottled up a bunch of stuff in order to get through, and then relieving that valve actually releases some things we didn't know we were feeling or needing to express. And so, you have a fluctuation in how people might handle that. Some are more suicidal. Some are, maybe just making weird decisions. This isn't everyone. I'm sure there's some people who are like, oh, yay, I feel better. This is great. I don't know. But at least my little corner of the world, I've experienced a huge influx in people going, I have to talk about all this now. And what's fascinating to me is that each of them are like, I'm the one going, hey, remember there's a pandemic? Hey, remember that you just spent 3 months in another country where you were trapped? Mm-hmm. Like, whoa. As if people, they're calling me and they're saying, hey, I need to talk about this. They're still talking about their things, but there's a bit of a lack of recognition, at least consciously, that this has impacted them.
Right.
And as we get into it, then, I mean, they're all in tears by the time I say, hey, can we just remember that you've been doing things that are hard, and it's interesting, just the psychology of it. But it relates to this idea that there's some new reports out that Americans in particular, and probably this is on the rise worldwide, especially sort of frontline workers with mental health professionals or medical professionals, is an increase in people meeting the clinical criteria for anxiety disorders and depression. We're up to 30% of people.
How is that criteria, or how is that criteria applied? Like, how do you know?
Well, and here's the hard thing, right? It's surveys, and it's done in like any of these kinds of things are. It's not,
right.
They've talked to 100% of the population and 30% are depressed. They try to get a swath of what what it would look like, right? So they're going to talk to this many people in this many households at this income level. They try to gauge all of that, and then they can ask the questions, right? So the criteria for depression or anxiety, you can Google it, right? Mm-hmm. And it's maybe that there was, because it's always about 10%, 5 to 10% will be experiencing one of these things at the same time. Mm-hmm. But this is like acute onset. You send, and our caller last time really showed that too, his wife, or 2 times ago, I guess, mm-hmm. His wife, usually really happy-go-lucky, has just gone into a deep depression.
Right.
And that would have probably not been the case, mm-hmm. had there not been this experience. So you've just got a big influx, and hopefully these things are more temporary than not. Mm-hmm. That's yet to be determined, but that jump is significant, and maybe it doesn't freak anyone out, but it freaks me out.
Yeah, it is freaky. That's like, it actually coincides with some of the other numbers we're seeing in layoffs, and in, like, today there was big news on large corporate bankruptcies and how it's the largest amount of that happening since the Great Depression. Seems like those things are correlated. So, what I mean by that is obviously people are directly affected if they're involved in any of those layoffs or any of those bankruptcies and or layoffs. But then even just the news of it is enough to set some people, down a darker path or whatever. Like, I have my own weird version of this, but Kim and I are confused. We're confused, okay? Let me tell you why we're confused. Yeah. We're confused because we keep swapping places. So last week, let's say Wednesday through Friday, I was in a great mood, feeling productive, getting stuff done, optimistic about the future, just cranking along. And Kim was not. She was grumpy and sad and had a few tear moments about the kids and some other stuff, and it just not a good time for her. Then almost like a switch went off. Monday, Kim's like upbeat. She's like, all right, it's a new week. We're going to do this. I'm going to tackle it. We're going to get this. And she's optimistic and moving forward. And I switch places with her and become the grumpy, depressed, I'm just going to sit on the couch for way too long kind of dude for the next 3 or 4 days. Why is that? What is that? I know this is not what we're talking about, but we are trying to figure out, is that a good thing that we tend to balance it that way and that we switch places like this, or what?
Or is it the one of you sees the other one getting kind of in that funk, and so they take the role of, all right, I need to be the rock to help get you out of that funk?
Maybe. I just don't think it's conscious if it is, because there was nothing about, like today, I'm feeling way better, like feeling just more upbeat and ready to roll. And she's like, oh, I'm so tired and sleep. Like I can see it happening again. It's shifting again, and I don't know if that's happening subconsciously or if it's just the way. It kind of reminds me like when one of us would be down or sick for any reason back in the past when the kids were little, for example, then the other one would pick up the slack, and you just did it. You didn't think about it, or it just sort of happened. In the same way that if one of them poops themselves, then Kim just knows it's her job. And if one of them barfs everywhere, I just know it's my job. And you just do it because those are your roles, and they're just like unspoken in a weird way. And that's kind of, I feel like we're in this weird, I don't know, it's weird. It's just a funky thing.
Yeah.
It's
well, and Brian's right. It's not conscious in the like, oh, I got to step it out now. It can be, right? But I do think that's just, there's some symbiotic stuff that happens, especially when you've been married a while. And there is really like permission. Like, I got this, you can be sad now. That comes from sort of a connected, safe relationship. And everyone handles stress differently, right? So, and I'm wondering too, even that the email from 2 weeks ago, there's a bit of that has always gone on. Whereas, he is stepping it up because she isn't doing as well. And that's happened many, many times. The hard part is, and this is where we get into, I'm going to just take it down this road because I think this is really valuable, of when everyone's at 10% rather than someone's pulling off an 80 and the other one's, at 20. What do you do then? Because that is what I think this sort of pandemic has done to every family, is especially ones with kids, is because it's just impossible to ever not be doing something that you have to be doing in order to make sure everyone's okay. And really what's tough is that we've been asked to be teachers, right? And so what happens is, I've got 4 different kids that have 4 different needs. And really 2 of them absolutely should never, ever, ever, ever be my students. Just clearly, I'm the worst thing that could have happened to them. So I've had to really change my approach from, you need to learn this and, oh no, your future, to, you know what, let's just build one more Lego.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. And because I'm going to harm him emotionally so he can do a couple more math problems.
Right.
Yeah, it's really a position none of us should be in. At the same time, we're trying to navigate, oh no, are we going to lose our jobs? What do we do with finances? How do we, all of the uncertainties that is reality, and putting everything on hold, right? Everyone's future is on hold a little bit.
A little bit.
Can I go there? Should I do that? And especially those who are graduating, or there really was a next life step that was just around the corner. I mean, it's big. And so we can't underestimate that impact on everybody. But couples do this bizarre thing. I've had this throughout my marriage where I'd be really worried about something and Adam be chill about it. And then we switch and I'm like, well, good thing this is never at the same time.
Yeah.
When it is, there's a thing to do. So can I just give some quick advice on this?
Yeah.
It's called the Family Gap Plan. And Brene Brown, I don't know if she coined it, but she's talked about this a bit. She's the one that talks about shame a lot. And the idea of a family gap plan is that you pre-plan what you're going to do when everyone's at 20%.
Okay.
So for example, you're having it happen naturally, but let's say you are both just sitting around and staring at the wall and you had little kids that needed to be fed, which I'm sure is happening to people. It's, what do we do pre this? What do we plan so when it does happen? So for example, you get home, I get home, we are both at 20% and we say it. We go, I'm at 20%. Oh, so am I. So then the plan would look like, okay, it's frozen pizza dinner night. It's who cares if the kids get a little more screen time. It's like a preset way to get through that, and then till we both get some sleep, right? Or everyone gets something to eat, or the weekend comes, or whatever that type of thing is. So that idea is that you make some rules. So we don't have big discussions during family gap time. We do not make any big decisions. In fact, everyone kind of goes to their corners, or maybe the rules is you don't, you don't try to resolve any issues. You just take it easy. And what I'm finding with a lot of the couples that are reaching out to me is they're trying to resolve big, hairy problems in a pandemic, right? And there needs to be a pause on some of that. Or absolutely someone helping them do that, right? Versus, and I think it's time for we dig up our 10-year-old issue about this and we deal with it now, because it's been thrown in our face for 3 months straight. So it's tempting, absolutely. But there is, if this isn't happening naturally, this flipping back and forth, then, coming up with what your family gap plan, I think, could be a really good one. So you can Google that and listen to Brene.
What I like about that is the family gap plan sounds like a way to get a T-shirt once a month if you all sign up together at the mall, at the Gap. And then,
a loose fitting,
it's like
right. Screen.
Yeah,
sure.
and you got to pay
cargo shorts.
Yeah, you got to pay monthly, so you better get in there and get yours this month, sort of thing. But anyway,
did you know that I worked at the Gap when I was in high school?
No.
And I worked at the Gap when SNL was doing the Cinch series.
Yeah, the Chris Farley and David Spade talking about folding.
I didn't know this. Why didn't I know this? How did I not know this?
You were off living your dreams. I was just trying to make a few bucks.
I guess so. Yeah.
Junior year.
I would have loved to have gone in there and said, "Hey, do you have anything loose fitting and dumb?" And you could have said, "Yeah, right over here."
But then you need to cinch it with a belt.
Yeah, with a belt.
Anyway.
Yeah. It was the 90s after all.
It was. It was good times.
Anyway, well, that's cool. I didn't know that. All right. All right. So, sorry, I didn't mean to derail us, but back to your whole, back to the main train of thought here.
Back to the main thing. I mean, really, so there's this increase in all these things, which seems like, of course that's happening, right? And people, I mean, there's no shortage of, hey, here's some things to do to help with that. And for years and years, we've talked about this on the show about self-care and, the power of creating rituals that are good for you and help you feel connected, whether that's a ritual of exercising and eating better to be kind to your body, or, connecting with friends and all those different things, right? Like there's all of those really obvious ones. And what I found is that, that stuff is hard to do when your energy is low. And I think everyone's experiencing a couple of similar things, no matter what your circumstance. This is the cause, we've talked about, we're all in the same storm. We're not all in the same boat, but the storm has created some very common experiences for people, which is sleep problems. Yeah. So we're collectively struggling with that. Just being out of whack, right? So staying up too late and staring at things and trying to escape reality a little longer, or whatever it might be. And then we've jacked up our sleep cycles in lots of ways. And then stress, of course, has a massive impact on sleep. So we're all a little sleep deprived. I think we're all gained 5-10 pounds. I think that's collectively happened to every single person.
I lost 30 and then gained 15 back. So I'm feeling real good about that. It's a real bummer.
Yeah. So pretty common. And then you've got, so some of these very basic physiological responses we're all having, because this is what a sort of long, ongoing, stressful dynamic will do to people, right? So a lot of us have adjusted in a lot of ways, right? We've figured out a rhythm on how to teach our kids. Well, summer's going to start in about 2 weeks. And now what do we do?
Right.
Because there's no camps and there's no swimming pools and there's, all of the things. So you adjust, because humans are pretty good at adjusting, but we tend to do a lot of holding our breath and hunkering down that, it takes its toll, right? So increase in depression symptoms, increase in anxiety symptoms. Fortunately, a lot of therapists are figuring out how to go online and help and do some things, but it's pretty tricky. But this leads to where the conspiracy thing comes in, because we talked about it previously on the show. And what tends to happen is when people feel out of control, and powerless and afraid. That's the perfect formula for sort of indulging in the story that would explain everything, right? The story that, oh, that makes so much sense that the whole thing is a fraud, because I would like this whole thing to be a hoax. What, don't you know, wouldn't that be great? We could all just, now go swimming and take your kids to camp. Like it would all be over.
Right.
And so there's some elements of hearing something you want to hear, and that assuages your fear and also gives you a sense of control. That being said, it's this specialness too, right? I have access to special information. You know, I'm not blind. I'm not ignorant like the rest of you, or whatever it might be. And it gives a sense of community because there's others who will join you there. And it gives you a sense of rightness and power when we are in a current moment where those things are missing for everyone. Here's what I want to get to. I've had 2 conversations with 2 very lovely people that I care very much about, who were pretty normal moms before.
Yeah.
And they're not my clients, so I can't actually help them. But in these conversations, both of them shared the rabbit holes that they're going down, and how they're like nervous wrecks. But it's the whole, what is that freaky one is into on, the one about the childhood, cannibalism ring, or I don't know. I don't know the details, of course.
Right.
Because I can't handle at all thinking that my friend is, now that's all she does and thinks about, and she's convinced it's real. And and her kids are suffering, and she has a job that is not essential, and so financially they're in a really scary place. And these 4 young boys who, it's just all of the things that would make her vulnerable to needing something to hold on to. And this is where she's spending her time. And so when I talk to her, my alarm bells go off, like, you need to go outside and you need some help. And, we're all hand tied a little bit. So it's pretty scary. And some other conversations that I've been having with people, just of, they're checking with me to ask what I think. And I'm like, well, I want to know is, how are you? And what I found too, is that folks who do not have anyone they personally know who has had COVID or has died, that they start to have some of these same feelings too. Like, well, maybe, I'm just paying the price here, et cetera. And so it's just,
they have they experience a cognitive dissonance that's pretty unique to what's happening.
Yeah.
This feeling of like, well, this isn't affecting me or anyone I know personally. And if you've got any tendency to like roll over onto the side of, maybe it's all being made up to control me, then you're done. You're down, man.
You're going to be cemented into that, and that's all you're going to be thinking.
And then and you paint yourself in such a corner that, how do you ever get out of that? How do you ever stop and go, oh no, you know what? Everyone, no, I was misled. I'm good now. And like, no one does that. They all dig in and and get worse. And then now the Earth is flat, and 9/11 was an inside job, and chemtrails are making me high, and like you start really going down that path, and you believe all that stuff, and your whole life should have the X-Files theme playing in your head, and that's.
And I know this is like hippy dippy of me, but like, I have so much more empathy for conspiracy theorists now than I have in the past, because I really do get that with fear, what do you do with it? Where do you put this? Now, collectively, we're all experiencing it in a way that didn't exist on this kind of scale before, I think. But that idea of, how do I gain control? How do I know what to do? When I hear mixed messages, like I just think about Wisconsin is a great example, right? My neighbor, the governor says one thing, that their Supreme Court in the state says a whole nother thing, and people are just left to their ids, it's a bit of like, nobody knows what's up or down, and it's all going to be based on your own personal experience. So you get it because you've been there, or you don't get it because you don't know anybody. Or so I talked to someone who was just like, I just don't know anybody, and I don't want to go down that road, but it just makes me wonder. And so I described in detail my close friend's brother in the ER he worked in the ER and he got COVID and he was in the ICU for 12 days and should have died. And he got a plasma transplant at the very last minute. He was the first one in the West to get it. You can go see him on the news. He was interviewed in Vegas. And within a couple of days, he was able to go home. It was amazing. And so he's doing okay. But that dude should be dead and was almost dead. And he was in perfect health, like a specimen of perfect health. And you just go, if you don't know him, then you might think that's not real, right? You might think, oh, you're just telling me a good story. But when it's your friend and you have conversations, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not real. And that's always been the case with tribal dynamics of human nature, right? So we're in our tribe and your experience is so similar to my experience. You live in my community. We go to the same grocery store, right? We both know where the taco seasoning is, right? We have common held experiences, viewpoints. We can get each other on one hand. But when we spread this to the entire world, it's, hearing the news through whatever, I don't know, I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings now suddenly.
Well, they do that with big fire.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
Yeah.
But just how like they're getting grumpy.
Fire towers. Yeah.
Where was Rohan when we were, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just that idea of like we spread out too far and it's really tricky. And the reality in the United States anyway is that COVID has spread in particular areas and not in others, right? We have hotspots, which means there's whole groups of people who don't know anyone personally. And so, so it's a very tricky thing. And I think, anyone listening is probably like, this isn't cohesive at all. Why are you talking about this? It's because it's not cohesive. I don't know how to help everybody. And I'm trying. And really, I guess it boils down to like, we have a rise in these things for a reason. This pandemic has been very difficult mentally on all of us and emotionally and hard on families and hard on children. And, we've got to figure out how to survive it and thrive again. And I think we can. But I guess it's disheartening when, I don't know. Does Wendy need therapy, everyone?
Wait, maybe Wendy. Yeah, Wendy needs a therapist. I'm not sure.
Who watches The Watchmen? Who therapizes the therapist?
Agreed. Anyone who does this and he's really good, send me an email.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. It's as usual, humanity is difficult at scale. If this was affecting a group of 10 people, figuring out what to do, how to do it, who's in charge, all of that stuff is simple, right? Like easy, quickly get there. It's not a big deal. Dissent is small if there is any at all. Like it's just a quick and easy fix. We're talking about 8 billion people. We're talking about diverse cultures and societies and civilizations and underdeveloped parts of the world and parts of the world that are so developed that they think they're immune from this sort of thing and don't have to deal with it. And we have great disparity in wealth and that sort of thing. Like what you're describing is just a symptom of that, right? Like, so at the end of the day, you just would have to be like we all should be trying to do, which is our own little sphere of 10 people, and then let the scale worry about itself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else there is to do because.
Well, I guess that's what happened too. My sphere of 10 people now includes 2 people who have gone down some rabbit holes that are frankly dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Is it Pizzagate? Is the other one is it the Pizzagate thing that the one person's worried about?
It's probably related to that.
Okay.
And then and then she's going off about some other conspiracy things, and I sent her an article, and she wrote back like, I'm open-minded, but that site is. And then she went off, and I was like, how about just a different thought? Like you can't say you're open-minded and then you only read one thing. Like that does not work. And I guess it's like it's entered my sphere of small number of people who are raising kids and doing what's right and doing their best, and suddenly it's just like, oh no, it's like it's the contagion got to them. and it's a little bit of like, no, I need to know that those 10 people are okay. So you're right, Scott, but maybe for me it's been that it's infiltrated the 10 people in a way that I'm watching close friends' marriages dissolve, and I'm watching, it's just like the I don't know, the tax man's arrived, and everyone's paying up for the 3 months. And not that this doesn't there aren't challenges individually over time, and we're just now hyper aware of that, right? Maybe that's all this is just a hyper focus.
Yeah, there's definitely a feeling of fork in the road at the moment.
Yeah.
Like just like, okay, well, what are we all doing here? Are we gonna be smart about this? Are we gonna be reckless about it? Some people are like, I was already reckless. Woo! Like they were never really into it or whatever. There are other people just who are like, something's got to give. Like we can't be overly cautious all the time. Like at some point the risk is mitigated, so we now know what the mitigation is and we can navigate that, but we still have to navigate it. We have to get out there and be in it and have some level of risk, some percentage of risk. And I understand that. Like I totally get that sense. But where we get into trouble is where we all start talking and arguing about the stuff that we can't have any control over. Like it's easy during a time like this to go, to have somebody who's absolutely 100% in their life benefited from aspects of, let's say, capitalism. It's helped them build a career or do whatever they did. But now it's easy to then turn on it and go, this is the problem. The weakness in capitalism is money's just a construct. We all made it up in our heads and agreed it's a thing, and that's the only reason any of this matters. We have all the resources in the world to keep everyone fed, healthy, and okay, but instead we keep it all behind this weird wall of money that doesn't actually exist. Like you can drive yourself crazy talking about that stuff, but you're never going to have the direct effect on it that you need, that your brain thinks it needs. And so I don't know. Conspiratorial thinking seems to come out of like lack of control and distrust of authority. And, right now, I don't know what this is. I don't know what, like in just we're talking mostly from the perspective of the United States. We have listeners all over the world and everybody's dealing with stuff differently. I know that. But, we had COVID come at a time where we couldn't have been more divisive already. Yeah. Like we're already split in the most weird ways. So this was just like, I don't know. It's like
either going to bring us together or it was going to further divide us.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
it did the latter.
Imagine a couple arguing in their house about a husband's fidelity, and he's mad at her because she's hooked on prescription drugs. Okay, this is a weird scenario, but that's the fight. She's like, "You're always cheating." Well, you're always stoned on prescription drugs, and then imagine. Suddenly, a cupboard above the dude opens up, and 8 hookers and 3 other ladies he's having an affair with all fall out of the drawers. And over on her side, a giant bottle of pills just goes blah all over the room. Like that's what COVID did to to the division that's already there. And
then add a bunch of Twitters, people just in a circle filming and talking about it.
Yeah, and then all having their own opinions, and and then imagine a horrible incident with a police officer literally killing a guy on camera
about 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah, right, kind of where you live. And have all the life is already complicated. We already have all these divisions, and then by the way, a completely non-partisan, tiny microscopic life form wants to invade your body and destroy it. And it does not care how you vote. It does not care who you like or don't like. It doesn't give a rat's ass what happened today in the news or what weather patterns are doing or what hurricane might be heading toward the Gulf. It doesn't care. It's just going to keep infecting people that keep touching each other and touching stuff they shouldn't be touching or didn't know was there, and they touch their nose and boom, they've got it. Like, that's the one thing about this that's the most black and white part of this, is that thing does not care at all about any of our problems. We can make up a million reasons why you're politicizing this or you're using it as a weapon. It's like, no, it doesn't care. It doesn't care. It's just going to come in there anyway.
I mean, if you not mowed your lawn for like 2 weeks, you would realize that nature will win the second we stop.
You're not wrong, dude. Like, that McDonald's where was it? There was a McDonald's that was totally shut down for most of this. I think they reopened since. But it got infested by goats. Like just goats. Like goats all over the place. It's going to be like New York was for Will Smith in that, what was it movie?
I Am Legend. Were the goats at least staying 6 feet apart, though?
No, they were all up in each other's
goats
business.
Are naughty.
They don't care, dude. They were just like, I think Big Macs used to be here. Let's go there. And they just stayed there. So, yeah, like nature's Nature wants to. I mean, my lawn would tell you that nature's ready for a comeback in a big way. So yeah. Anyway, it's a hard. My point with all this rambling is that, I've come to the conclusion that all I can really do is this little sphere, and that extends a little bit to our audience. We can reach out to them, and maybe that's helpful. Maybe it isn't. I don't know, but it feels like it's better than not having that influence at all. If we can do something good for them, I don't know.
Yeah. And I realize one thing too, like my job when I come on here is to act like I know what I'm doing. And I just don't. Like, I don't know. Yeah. And that is, on one hand, like really refreshing for me.
Yeah.
To be like, I have an answer to any of this. I could spend the time to figure out what I really think or what I would do, or, like I'm always like, be nice, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, listen, I don't know. I need a freaking swimming pool for these kids. And that's so stupid. And at the same time, it's what I need, like.
Get one of those big 6 foot or whatever they are. They're just the round tub ones you put in the backyard, the big ones. You know what I'm talking about? You can do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then you don't have to dig a hole and go through all the expense of it. You just have a big.
Which,
what the neighbor has.
With a 3-year-old. But when you're 14-year-old's like, yeah, cool, mom. No, it's just interesting. We're all doing our thing and trying our best, and it's something. No, so thanks for letting me not solve anything.
No,
today.
It's good today. We no, you know what? There's value in the concept of you can't solve everything. I think there's real value in that, and I don't mean just you. I mean everybody with their own stuff. You can't. Sometimes letting go, like what the 12-step stuff has, like stuff about just letting go,
Yeah, you're powerless.
You're powerless. Yeah. And
now, I mean, if we could riff on that for 1 second, there's the value in saying you're powerless against your addiction, or you're powerless against something you can't control or can't change, is that it offers you a chance to find some peace, right? Like the struggle to pretend you're in control, the struggle to try to feel safe, is where most of your suffering comes from. Mm-hmm. And so that there's a ton of value in that. So that's a really good way to think about it. And I think, maybe the taking the road to conspiracy land is a form of, just trying to wrestle control. And I mean, I know that's what it is. It's to feel like something, and that you're going to be okay because you have this special knowledge, and that you're a part of a small group of people who get it, or whatever thing you need. Mm-hmm. You get that. But there is a Buddhist version of this, which maybe that's part of a good response of, the actual attachment to control and the need to feel like everything makes sense is, we're pretty attached to that.
Yeah.
And there's biological reasons for that. But, is there some higher plane we can get to by, I don't know, allowing ourselves to stick with what we can actually control, and letting go of the struggle a little bit.
I like it. There you go, guys. Conspiracy theories. Just quit it.
Or at least don't tell me about it.
Yeah, don't tell me about
it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to just ignore it. We have somebody in our extended family on Kim's side who's super down every road, every one of those roads he subscribes to. And I said it was a he, so now I've already narrowed it down. But anyway, there was they did a drive-by birthday thing for my mother-in-law. And part of that was getting out and doing a sort of safely distanced photo of everybody. And for some reason, my daughter Carter was the only one wearing a mask, and she was getting dirty looks from certain people. And she says, "I'm not wearing this to protect me. I'm wearing it to protect you. I'm with people all the time for work and stuff." And they just didn't get it.
No.
I was proud of her though, because she yelled at him. Because she's a good kid, and she knows why she's doing it. But anyway, the long and the short of it. Sorry, Carter, I didn't mean to invoke your story. I'm just still sort of annoyed by it. But all right, Wendy. As always, people should be checking out realsteps.org right now. Are you taking new submissions? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sign up. You can sign up right now, and you'll get some emails coming up shortly.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're getting geared up. It's going to be really fun. We've had people do it first and second round, and this maybe will be some people's third, and then it keeps evolving. And this time it's going to be great. I'm excited. So
right.
please.
Well, you guys the more you do it, the more you learn, and the better the program gets. If you guys are going, wait, I don't know anything about this, then head on over to realsteps.org. All the details are there, and learn about how maybe you can be a part of their next phase. All right. Wendy, have a fantastic week, and get a pool. Get a pool. I like that idea.
Get a little kid pool. Okay.
All right, bye.
Thanks, Wendy.
You get one of those little tiny ones.
The little tiny plastic ones. Yeah. The neighbor has a 16-footer above ground, but we have the little 3-footer plastic one about 8 inches high off the ground, and the dog loved that one.
Oh, of course.
Ruby would splash around in that one.
Hold on. The big one is Dave, neighbor Dave?
Yeah, the big one. Crazy neighbor Dave has a 16-foot pool in his backyard.
I can see him in that pool. I can picture
daily.
it in my head.
Daily.
Right, yeah. How do those things, they're just chlorinated, right? Is that how those things work? I don't know how they work.
Yeah, there's a filter, and it's still like has all of the circulation stuff that you need. You're not going to let water stagnate in there, but there's a pump and a filter, and you got to check pH levels and all that stuff all the time. So.
And do we, does he...
And a heater.
Oh, yeah, right, a heater. I was going to ask about that. And does it have... Is it covering the space so that if he ever was to get rid of it, there's just no grass there now? Like there's a big dead circle under it?
We cleared out all of that stuff beforehand and laid down.
You got roped in. You got roped into doing all this.
I helped. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because
Oh.
I got. I didn't help him put it up this year, but basically that space sits between our houses on his side of the fence, and it's an area that he basically got all of the grass and everything out of, and I think it was a garden initially. They moved the garden to the other end of the backyard, and then cleared out everything, put in pea gravel, then put sand in, made it level, all that stuff, and then put the pool on top of that.
Nice. Well done,
Yeah.
Dave.
Oh yeah, there was they weren't expecting grass to ever come back there.
Okay, good. I knew somebody who put it on the grass and then seemed surprised later to find out that the grass died. But
no.
He's a flat earther, so don't forget about that guy.
He's a flat pooler.
Flat grasser.
Flat sander. Yeah.
We are nearly done today, but we do have a couple of quick things. I want to give a shout out to Kurt Boutin. Actually, you've heard this show. Do you want to tell me about this?
Yeah. So Kurt Boutin is otherwise known as Kurtstable. He's come into the Tadpool a few times. They're doing a show. He and Phil Keating are doing a show called Nook's Tavern, a podcast and live stream all about Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Nice.
They cover weekly news events. They do deep dives into the corruption of Animal Crossing by one Tom Nook. They have a segment called Behind the Bells. It's great. If you're a patron, you actually get to be a part of the live audience, which they record in one of their Animal Crossing houses. They give out a dodo code, and you come and watch them record live in Animal Crossing while listening to the audio of their show. And they even incorporate stuff like reactions as they're talking. So like they'll react to something in Animal Crossing based on what the news that they're reading in the show.
That's fantastic. There's somebody else doing is it Gary Whitta, I think it is has celebrity celebrities who are playing Animal Crossing. They come on there. I think it's called Animal Talking. And they have a whole set in there that looks like a late night talk show set with a desk and everything, and a city behind it. Because I guess there's a cityscape wallpaper I've never seen in the game. But
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that either. But there's got to be. There's wallpaper. Looks like everything else.
So they had like Felicia Day and I forgot who all.
Imagine AOC is probably.
She's
playing.
She said something about wanting to be on there, but you had to talk to her people. So I don't know if that worked out. But what was the other one? Oh, the director of Moon.
David Bowie's son, Duncan Jones.
Duncan Jones was on there. So Felicia Day, a few other people like that. It was pretty cool.
Cool. Well, the one we're talking about here is Nook's Tavern.
Nook's Tavern.
Go check out their Twitch and their podcast. It's really, really good.
I like the.
I'll vouch for it because I've listened to it.
The Behind the Bells thing is I love that as a segment.
It is really funny. Yeah,
very good. All right. Also, a quick final push for our good pal Mark Kirk. He's a teacher. He's trying to. I've talked about this before, but he's trying to get 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel so that he can build out a better way to teach kids remotely and with his YouTube videos. If you do not know what I'm talking about, well, then you didn't hear it the first time, and I want you to go do it. It costs you nothing. You just so subscribe to it, and it helps him get to the number he needs, and we've helped a fellow tadpooler. Literally zero cost to you. It's a single click of your time. Go to tiny.cc/Mark Kirk. There's 2 K's in that, one word, MarkKirk. So 3 K's. It's tiny.cc/Mark Kirk. And he's almost there. So get in there and get him over the top so that he can get going when he needs to get going. So there's that. That's it for the show.
Yeah.
A reminder, no PM tomorrow because we did a play date this week. So we're not doing that. And that'll be tomorrow. So don't be here tomorrow for this. This weekend we will have a film sack, though. So plenty of content on its way. And the instances tomorrow this week because it had technical difficulties on Tuesday. So normal instance tomorrow. They're abnormal, I guess.
There also will be a Coverville Guess the Connection at 2:30 p.m. 6 songs, 6 cover songs. Tell me what they have in common to win a prize. I think it'll be a Marge Simpson thing of TikToks and a Lord of the Rings Blu-ray or something. We'll see.
Did you say Marge Simpson box of TikToks? Is that what you said?
Tic Tacs, I meant, yes. TikToks, Tic Tacs.
You have me
I'm
interested.
doing some Tic Tacs on TikTok.
Yeah, do that and then film it, and then the kids will love it. Don't worry. All right, well, do check that out. Plenty of other stuff going on. Check the calendar on the site. Live stuff's always at frogpants.tv. Podcasts are all at frogpants.com, including this one at frogpants.com/TMS. Info about our Patreon, how to support it, how you can get bonus cool stuff, all of that is there. All right, we're going to leave now with a song, and I love the title of this already, so tell me what we're listening to.
Yeah, you're going to love this. Why did I just eat a Tic Tac before doing this?
A TikTok, yeah.
A TikTok. When